Three, two, one. Broadcasting tape delayed from next year's NFL Draft in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Sports Economy Show is on. I'm Bill, and this is Ryan, and we're here to pump you up. So today's show is part 2 of the NFL Draft. Did a little news segment on the draft and some of the ratings, but today we're going to do a more long-form version of how big the NFL Draft has become. Would you agree, Ryan, that the NFL Draft is a big deal?
Yeah, absolutely. I've never really been a big fan of watching the NFL draft, but I watched it. I really paid attention to it this year. I mean, I
Did
watched some last year as well, but I've
did
just now
you
started watching it, and I noticed it looked like the crowd was like a mile long to the stage from there. It was massive.
Yeah, I heard somewhere there was almost a little over 1 million people or something that visited over the 3 days. I don't know exactly what it was, but anyway, what they did is they had it in the parking lot of Green Bay's of Lambeau Field. It's parking lots where it was. So did you watch the draft because you're interested in the draft, or did you watch it because Shedeur and the hype that was around him?
That was part of it.
Yeah, it was all of it.
The famous,
Because that's what everybody does. They want like, where's he going? Where's he going? And then it didn't work out for him like everybody thought. And then you got some people is like, well, this is probably where he should have gone. And some people is like, well, he should have been the 3rd pick because he's just great. My opinion of his draft stock was he's probably an okay player, but his skills are not worth the circus that's probably going to come with him. That's my opinion. What is your opinion of him dropping to the 5th round and going to Cleveland, which is a team that he didn't want to go to in the first place?
I'll say the main reason I did watch the draft is because Missouri was supposed to have 2 first rounders.
Oh, yeah?
So only one went, but there was supposed to be 2.
Okay.
Uh, on the Shedeur, I think what turned everybody off on him was he was supposed to have a workout with the Giants and he was supposed to study the playbook. When he got there, they were asking questions and he had no idea, so which means he didn't come prepared. I think
Yeah.
it kind of beats him off, and them coaches talk. All of them
Oh, yeah.
talk.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can
So,
tell you somebody else who never studied the playbook very much. It was Michael Vick. They said, he didn't study the playbook like you're supposed to. You need to know that stuff. But, when you're a legend, I am legend or whatever, legacy, I don't need that stuff.
I mean, when you're Michael Vick,
It
I
doesn't
mean,
matter. You still need to
they
study
got
that playbook.
when you're Mike Vick, you can do that, but Shedeur Sanders,
No. Now, Michael Vick still needed to study that playbook. He had a lot of problems too. Did you think Josh Allen studies his playbook?
absolutely, I think he does.
Absolutely, he may study that playbook. Absolutely. So, anyways, I got a couple things about the draft. So, the NFL draft they had a contract with ESPN from 1980 until this year, and it's going to end. So, the NFL is submitting or asking for bids for the property or to say, I'm going to air this program, the draft. And the contenders are Amazon, Fox, and YouTube TV or Google. And that's according to reports. YouTube already has the Sunday ticket, right? So Google is a little over $1 trillion.
I'm not
What?
100 on that.
Anyway, yeah, but anyway, YouTube does have the Sunday ticket. So anyway, so they already have a relationship with the NFL for that. Google could just outright outbid everybody. So could Amazon. Amazon could say, you know what? We're just going to buy this. If you got Fox. Fox has a lot of money, but I don't think they could outbid Amazon or Google for the whole thing. So we'll see how it goes. This year's draft was estimated, I don't know the exact numbers, to be between 6 and 7 million people was the average per day watching that draft. Now, I'll guarantee you half of that audience was due to Shedeur, watching that every day to see where he was going. But then again, the draft typically is massive, you know. So there's a lot of people who want to watch this thing, and it's a 3-day event, you know. Or is it? It's Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, and then so it's 3 days and a Thursday night. So it's a big deal, you know. So I don't know how long they want the contract to go for. My guess is ESPN. The NFL probably won't do more than, say, 5 years, because they're like, hey, we're going to re-up this with somebody else who's got more money. So you have any thoughts on who might get it, how much they might pay? I have no idea what it's going to be worth. But, you know, it's going to be a lot.
If I was put money on that, I would say Amazon, because they already got the partnership with the Thursday night football.
Yeah, Thursday night football, and they also have the who has the Black Friday football game? Is it Peacock or Amazon? And Amazon's getting a playoff game this year too.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So YouTube has the Sunday Ticket, Amazon has football, Fox has football. So, I mean, it could come down to where the NFL says, hey, we'll just rotate it between all you guys every year. You know, and the ESPN's bidding on it also, so ESPN could get it back. I don't know. Anyway, it's a hot commodity having that draft. I mean, for all that stuff. So next year, you know where the draft is going to next year?
Yeah,
I'll just tell you.
Hey, I just knew this. It's in DC in 2 years.
Yeah. We'll talk about it in a second. It's going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where the draft started in 1938. It was evidently the first NFL draft. And it was in Pittsburgh. So I guess they used to, you know, have it on location or something or other. Then they moved it to a smoky hotel conference room. It's where it used to be. And they used to write the stuff on the chalkboard, who drafted who drafted who. Now, you know, we got guys breaking the draft down instantly. As soon as there's a pick, what do?
They get on their cell phone.
No, I'm talking about the comment. I should say, what do the commentators do? As soon as there's a pick, nobody writes it down. They just
whatever's pick.
Yeah, they have the stats all ready to go. You know, and they tell you how great this guy is great. You know, eighth guy picked in the 4th round. They know everything about this guy and everything he does. He's great. I always thought that was interesting, you know, about how they know all this stuff. But so anyway, but the NFL draft is worth a lot of money, and now the big announcement was it's going to be on the Washington Mall in 2027. You know, because the Commanders are getting a new stadium. Have you heard about that one, I assume?
Yeah, so they're going to be in the process of building a new stadium, is why they can't have it. They're having it at a mall.
Oh yeah, it's going to take a while. What it is there's this area of grass in Washington D.C. between the Washington Monument and I guess Lincoln Memorial. Anyway, so you can do what?
Like all the movies.
That's where Forrest Gump was, you know.
Yeah.
All that stuff. I've actually been. Yeah. I've been there a couple of times too. It's called the National Mall. I don't know why they call it that, but anyway, yeah, you can fit 1 million people in that little area, you know, if you're all cramped in together. So that's where they're going to have the 2027 draft, because football is coming back to Washington, D.C. They tried to get a stadium in Northern Virginia. They tried to stay in Maryland where they're at now, but none of it seemed to work out the way they wanted. So they got Washington. I guess the city of Washington is going to come up with some money, build a new stadium on the old side of the RFK place, and I don't know when it's supposed to be done. So it's going to be a big deal. Washington football again. You know, you have any thoughts? Do what?
We got a bright future, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. You know, they went from perennial loser and they got new owners, which we did a show on Magic Johnson being a winner, because Magic Johnson is a small percentage owner of the team, but it seems to be no matter where he goes, he's a winner, you know? So they went from a perennial loser to making it to the NFC Championship game this past year. So it's a big deal.
Yeah, they got just draft the SEC quarterback and look at them now.
That's right. Look at them now. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's about all I got on the NFL draft, you know, until they get a contract signed or whatever. So I don't know when the bids are supposed to be submitted or whatever, but could be after the season. You know, I was watching something on the SEC football, and how ESPN's offering them more money for more conference games. You know, that's what they want. We want more conference games so we can put on TV. But the guys watching goes, yeah, that's a great idea, except the more they play each other, their records keep getting worse and worse, so then they can't make the playoffs.
Well, you know how CBS used to have, for years, they had the SEC prime game.
Yeah.
Like they call it the 2:30 game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whoever was playing on Saturday at 2:30 on CBS had the big game, and everybody was going to be.
Yeah.
ESPN last year.
Yeah, CBS lost that contract to ESPN. Now CBS does the Big Ten.
So, yeah, which is not ever going to be the same to me, but.
Yeah. Well, you're biased. The people who live in Ohio and Michigan look at it differently than you do, Ryan. So.
But that's not where it started.
That's not where it started. Yeah. But anyway, ESPN's offering more money for more conference games. So, see how it goes. But like you say, the more they play each other, like that guy said, it's true. The more they play each other, the more losses that pile up. So then you don't get in the playoffs, which is where there's more money. So it's a long, drawn-out story. All right, well, that's all I got for today.
I was going to say, I didn't remember saying it earlier, they said there was more people there for the NFL draft this year, for the draft this year than the whole population of Green Bay.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Green Bay's a small town.
Green Bay's not a very big town. So, I mean, you're rolling in close over 1 million people to the draft.
So it's basically a suburb of Milwaukee.
No, it's not a it's not a suburb. It's not a suburb of Milwaukee, but it's within driving distance of, you know, you all the hotels are in Milwaukee, so people are staying there and just driving. It's probably like 70, 75 miles away, if that far.
Cool.
Do what?
It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it may not even be that far away, but I wouldn't consider it a suburb. You know, it's not like
small market right there.
It's a what?
Small market.
Yeah, small market. That is a small market team. Anyway, but do you know the 4 teams in the NFL that have a nationwide following? 4 teams. All the rest of the teams are just a regional team. Dallas,
Steelers.
Green Bay, the Steelers, and Las Vegas Raiders. Wherever they
Vegas-
go, huh?
Vegas kept all their fans from the old Oakland days.
Yeah, but people can still consider it's the Raiders. But those four teams are the only teams that have a national following. Anywhere else, I mean, even Kansas City is Super Bowl champions. It doesn't matter wherever they play, their tickets are cost less than if that team was playing Dallas or Pittsburgh or Green Bay.
Like you said, so that would make Kansas City a regional team.
Yeah,
But if you
it's a
look at
regional
their-
team.
You look at their region, there's really no other big football cities around. So
Yeah.
they got that whole region, state of Missouri.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And-
they have a very large area, but the population of that area is
Yeah.
small compared.
We're just dedicated.
You're dedicated.
Well, I'll tell you this, even way years before Kansas City ever got good, even back they've never had a problem filling that stadium up.
No,
Every
because those
game,
those
years
fans
ago,
are
too.
those fans are dedicated. They go
Yeah.
because there's nothing else going on. All right. Well, now that we're done with our football talk, and the reason we talk football is because that's all the people on Sports Talk Radio talk about is football anyway. So if you ever listen to Sports Talk Radio, they'll talk a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Then we get into football because that's all we know. So that's all we know. So we talk football.
I tell you, and people talk very little baseball these days.
Oh, very little. The people
You have to go to MLB Network to hear them talk
Yeah.
about baseball. and
Yeah,
watch highlights.
the people on sports, the people that do Sports Talk Radio, they have never watched a full regular season game. Ever. I don't know this, but I'll guarantee they've never sat down and watched a regular season game from beginning to end. That's why they know nothing about it.
That's
They don't even talk.
Oh, go ahead.
I said they don't even talk much about it in the playoffs. When baseball's in the playoffs, they don't even talk much about it because football is going on.
Yeah, on Colin Cowherd's show, I feel like they tell them, okay, you got to mention baseball one time in this show,
Yeah.
and then you can go back to football.
Yeah, and you go back to football. Yeah, you got 35 seconds to talk about baseball. Then we're going back to football.
Yeah, and that's only because producer probably tells them to do it. Oh, we got to talk a little bit of baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, Ryan, well, I'm going to let you go. We'll meet back here again and discuss some other fascinating topic about sports and money, because that's what this show's about, folks. Remember, like and subscribe because we need a gazillion dollars, because we're going to go up and we're going to get a suite in Washington, D.C., and we're going to report back to you on the draft. Right? Right.
That's right.
So long, everybody.
So long, everybody.